The reason I wanted to join the cohort is because I was just kind of managing I mean, if you want to call them systems, like to reach out to people, just like in my email, trying to remember in my head, like who did I talk to? And it really just wasn't systematized. And I didn't really have community around my speaking. I'm also a coach and I have a lot of community around coaching, but for the speaking part of it, I didn't. So part of it was, I was excited that it was a group and I would be able to learn from other people and just connect with them and commiserate in our own ways. And also just create a better system for reaching out to people, tracking, the different people I want to invite and just, get to know to see if have any need, whether that's just planting a seed or just starting to get things out there.
The biggest shifts, I would say, even starting early on in S4P, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And so I was like, I kind of want to talk about this thing. I think it makes sense to talk about it, but like, what do I do with it? And so in joining, I had so much of clarity as well, but it was very much based on who I am as an individual. How do I want to get my messaging out there? And I learned more about like my brand, which I didn't know was something that I could do or something that would like bring me this power to be able to just be myself and bring what I want. I always thought like you start a business and you have to just go into a certain mold. And so that was really transformative for me when I had joined.
Well, what made me join the cohort was, I had been out here trying to piecemeal it myself. And as a leader, sometimes you have to just recognize when you need help, and had saw the program, saw the previous cohorts, and really want to take that time to invest into myself. And one thing I will say about S4P, as a person who thinks they know everything all the time, I really learned a lot. And also too, if you're a person who you're good at a lot of things, so it gets so broad that it can confuse you. One thing I really do appreciate about the academy was like narrowing down the niche and learning that like, okay, if I narrow this down, I can definitely gain more from being spread out so thin across all the great topics and things that I know.
There's been some transformation that you've experienced with your time in the program. What are some wins that you're celebrating?
So I'm celebrating. Crazy thing is, I think I was in the program 2 weeks, learned the things from the first two sessions we had, and then got booked right after that. So the bookings have been coming in, and everything that I've learned and I've incorporated in, from the academy into what I do has made everything so much better.
I decided to join the cohort because even though I have all of these years of experience and practice, I really wanted to take my speaking and kick it up a notch. I wanted to transition from these smaller gigs to, main stages, global, that type of thing. And so, yes, you and I had been friends on Facebook for a long time, and I was behind the bushes peeking, seeing what you were doing. And I decided to take the opportunity. I admire your work ethic, and that is so important to me. I only align with people that I can see that are not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. And I consistently see the content that you put out. I see your success stories of previous graduates, and I said, yeah, this is for me. And I knew I had something major coming up, but I made a way to, with your help, make it work despite all of that. So I couldn't be happier.
The biggest win, and I think some people have mentioned this, was the CRM, was being able, I am big on delegating and automating. So to be able to have that formal structure for outreach and making sure that I'm, just being more intentional and having a formal system for outreach, that's been really, really beneficial. And you've been involved, really helpful in helping me to shift my messaging from talking to the individuals who I would work with as a coach and consultant to like, well, no, Dion, organizationally, this is how you would shift your messaging just a little bit. So same baseline messaging, but making it really speak to the people I needed to speak to.
I was like, you know what? I really haven't had any formal training on how to bring this into a business system. And that was the main thing that attracted me to the program. The program has far exceeded my expectations. We've done so much more than I thought we would here. I have an amazing speaker sheet. I've already gotten many compliments on it. Your guidance has been super helpful to land a really big contract I'm excited about and can't wait to share more about. So I'm just very happy. And the systems part of it, I think, one of my strengths is starting up some things. I'm really good at that startup, but the follow up and the organization is something that I always struggle with. So building the system is just monumentally helpful.